Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, let's talk about woo-woo stuff today. And I don't mean woo-style Tai Chi or any particular master whose name happens to be woo. I'm talking about W-O-O, woo, woo-woo. I believe the term came originally from the old science fiction movies where someone would go and exhibit some kind of mystical or supernatural power, and then they would come in with an instrument called a theremin that made a sound that went woo, and I think that woo kind of sound became associated with things paranormal, things supernatural, things beyond the usual explanations. And in Tai Chi circles, you know, what we tend to call woo-woo stuff is it boils down to a belief that there is a kind of discrete energy in the body or a substance in the body, whether you want to call it chi or life force or whatever, and that somehow by harnessing or some kind of change of mental focus or something that you do in your brain, you can harness this energy and you can extend it from your body, you can pull it in, you can do different things with it, you can heal with it, you can use it to punch, strike, and deal with martial situations, but most importantly, they usually will talk about something that seems to defy Newtonian physics, everyday Newtonian physics, like you don't need strength, all you need is chi. Of course, without strength, you can't even stand up. I think sometimes what they mean by that is you don't need brute strength, and it's true. You don't need brute strength. You don't need to be stronger than somebody to defeat them martially. If your technique is better, your timing is better, your accuracy is better, there are ways to bypass brute, hard, forceful strength. But all martial arts champions, or even people that are close to that level, all around the world in every art there is, they're all strong. None of them are weak, frail people or even medium strength people who have this chi power. They're all strong martial artists. They're all strong people. So the woo-woo is this idea that you can somehow bypass this. And they will use parlor tricks to prove or to demonstrate their ability, these wooists, these woo people. What I see is parlor tricks, and I also see very compliant, cooperative, even complicit students who are trained to react in ways that make it look like the person doing the issuing is barely touching them or hardly doing anything. Personally, I don't believe in that. I believe that all of our physical movements, especially martial arts movements, depend on a mastery or a knowledge of or an understanding of Newtonian physics. They depend on leverage, strength, application of strength, timing, balance, all those things, skeletal alignment, muscle strength, loose available joints, timing that comes from your brain and your central nervous system, all those kind of things. That's what I believe in. So my advice to people who believe in this woo stuff, if you really want to silence the anti-woo crowd, if you really want to prove that your woo beliefs are true, that you really can violate Newtonian physics, that you really can do more than just coordinate muscles and bones with your chi, with your mind, whether it's for healing or martial arts, is to prove it. Use it against a non-compliant, aggressive opponent from another school, from someone who isn't your student, someone who isn't your partner. You know, invite someone from another school to come in and attack you in any way they could think of. It doesn't have to be a hardcore lethal attack. It can just be come at you pushing. You know, get a high, as one of my friends, Chris, in one of the Facebook groups I belong to, is always saying, get a high school varsity wrestler, you know, to come in and try to take you down. Just a wrestler from high school. And see if you can, you know, use your force or your woo powers to defeat them. If you want to use it for healing, submit to a double-blind test, you know. Use that thing on 20 people and have some figure out a way to scientifically test that and see whether it works. That's the best way to silence them, not arguing, not trying to invoke classic literature or tell anecdotal stories of one or two instances where this works. Yes, someone who's very weak and frail can fool somebody in one instance, in one moment. They can win one little battle, but can you do it consistently against non-compliant opponents? That's another story. So rather than argue these points, I think the best way to silence the other side is just prove them wrong. Show up, take challenges, like non-woo martial artists and non-woo healers have to do. If you come up with a new treatment for something in the world of medicine, you have to prove that it works. And I'm not saying that every medication has been, there are people who are corrupt and who fake studies and people who have agendas and financial rewards and all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying that, but science is about weeding those folks out, and it's about using evidence to prove your claims, not just stories or single anecdotes. So prove it by showing that you can do that stuff against non-compliant opponents. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen some people claim to try, and when they really find a non-compliant opponent, they usually get their ass kicked. But I have an open mind. I'm willing to believe in the force if someone shows me evidence that that exists. Meanwhile, for me, what's magic, for me, what's amazing, is that ideas in this wet computer in my head, neurological events, can send an electrical signal through my nerves to activate different muscle bundles at different times, to affect different levers and different muscles in my body, to time that effect just to catch a ball. If someone throws a ball, to catch it, just what's involved in doing that, calculating the trajectory of that ball and sending those signals from my brain to all those different muscles to be there at the right moment to catch that thing, that is amazing to me. That's miraculous enough. I don't need any special blue light traveling through my body or any special woo-woo stuff. So anyway, that's my take on some of the woo stuff. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to my channel. It's geneburnett.com is my website. I do a lot of music videos, Tai Chi videos, and nature videos here at my YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe or visit geneburnett.com.